And if we work our butts off to make sure that we take back all three chambers of Congress, all three chambers of government, the presidency, the Senate, and the House in 2020, we can't start working in 2020. Inaugurated January 3rd, January 4th, we're signing healthcare, we're signing this.
But they don't actually inaugurate Congress people, they swear them in.
And then she went on to say that she was going to get inaugurated on the 3rd and then start signing bills on the 4th. You don't get inaugurated and you don't sign bills. Only the president will sign the bills that you present to him.
I'm Kevin Phillips with Campus Reform. Today we're at Florida International University talking to students about their opinions of socialism and if they'd support a socialist GPA policy. Would they be willing to share their high GPA with people that have a low GPA? Because after all, it's all about equality. Which would you rather have in America, socialism or capitalism?
I would say socialism.
How do you view the word socialism, favorably or unfavorably?
I guess I would go with favorably.
Like, I have family in Europe. They go to college for free. Their healthcare is paid for. They don't have to worry about it at all.
I favor that over capitalism.
Okay, got it.
I also think I favor that, socialism over capitalism.
Socialism is more geared toward helping the people in your, the governed.
I'd rather people have that same opportunity. There's a lot of excess in America.
The main idea of socialism being that people at the top are doing their fair share to help people at the bottom, trying to prevent disparity of income and trying to prevent excess, as you called it. So on campus, if there's a GPA disparity where there's people at the bottom with a poor GPA, would you support a policy where people at the top spread the wealth and give that GPA to people at the bottom?
Help them get a better GPA?
Yeah.
I'm all for helping. I wouldn't give let me just give you some of my points.
But it's about being fair, right? We got to help people at the bottom.
I've lost a lot of sleep, so I don't know if I will be fair.
It's hard. I guess it would be kind of hypocritical for me to say no.
That's completely different.
How is it different?
Because I'm studying all day for my grade.
What do you mean by sharing it? Literally, giving them a chunk of my GPA?
Yep.
Dang.
I would want to say no, straight up.
If the left, the Democrats, they always push for border security. President Obama, Hillary, Clinton, they all push for border security. Trump is the only one actually doing something about it, so why now the double standard? Why now the hypocrisy?
That's the media. I honestly think that's just the media. And
the politicians as well.
And the politicians as well. I think Trump is just the most outspoken about it, and so the people are getting the most upset about it. And the past politicians that did talk about that, they probably just weren't so outspoken about it. And so not a lot of people noticed, not a lot of people did their research. I honestly don't think...
What they did was talk about it and not do anything about it.
Oh, okay then.
That's what they did.
They did that? Okay.
Yeah, they mentioned it, they say they were going to do it, that they were all for it, but they did nothing to actually move forward in taking care of our border security. None of them did anything. Trump is now actually doing something, and now they're hating him for it. So why is that?
I definitely don't think there's room to hate for it. I think I respect the fact that he's doing something, but I just don't necessarily agree with how he's doing it. I do respect the fact that he's trying to do something. I don't think he's doing it in the best of way though. And
what would you suggest other than the wall, when the wall is statistically shown to be to prove that it works?
Me, honestly don't know. Immigration's not my biggest issue.
No, but I'm trying to open your eyes so you understand the facts of really what's going on in the reality. The walls do work. They do stop the illegal immigration. We do spend over $15 billion on just 2 states alone for illegal immigration. You know what I'm saying? Just on 2 states alone, that's how much. That's not including everything else, every other state that are sanctuary cities. You get what I'm saying? So what he's doing is to enact that, to stop that, and I'm trying to get you guys to realize the truth of it and not just, because he talks, his rhetoric is crazy. Yeah, he's a dude just like we are. How many of us talk like that behind closed doors? Every one of us. You know what I mean? Who are we to do that? You know what I mean? So you have to sit back and judge a person by their actions and their policies. You know what I mean? And what they're trying to do to help the country. That's all.
Yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate that you're trying to open up people's eyes, yeah.
I'm Calvin Phillips with Campus Reform. Today we're at Columbia University talking to young people about freedom of speech. Is the First Amendment still relevant today? And do people actually know what's in the First Amendment? Let's find out. In the First Amendment of the Constitution, there are 5 freedoms listed that are protected under the First Amendment. I've got $20 right here if you can name all 5.
No way I'm naming all 5.
Any come to mind, freedoms under the First Amendment?
Yo, I have no idea.
Can you name the 5 freedoms protected under the First Amendment?
No, I definitely can't. I don't know.
Nah, I can't.
Yeah, any?
Maybe we can guess. Under the First Amendment. Nah.
How long do I have?
Dude, you took comp law. You should be able to do this.
So freedom of speech, freedom of the press.
You're the constitutional lawyer here, man. You got this. Come on.
You gotta do it. Yeah, dude, he's taking a class in law school right now also. So, dude, no pressure, but...
Freedom of press.
Free speech. Right to bear arms. Is that a different amendment? I think that's a different
That's
amendment.
the Second Amendment.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Now I feel like I need to go home and just read.
The right to a jury by your peers.
No. I'm Calvin Phillips with Campus Reform. Today we're at the University of Miami talking to students about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's Green New Deal. It sounds nice, it's ambitious, but will students support it when they find out what's actually in it? Let's talk to them and find out. The #1 trending thing on social media yesterday was her Green New Deal. It's a plan to combat climate change. It was already endorsed by multiple Democrat frontrunners for president in 2020.
Yeah.
Based on what you've heard of the plan, would you say you view it favorably or unfavorably?
I view it favorably. I think that we need to cut our reliance on fossil fuels. It's definitely a great idea.
I like that it's progressive. I like that it is going to push the world forward in the way we need to be.
I would say it's a favorable act.
Just from knowing who's endorsed it and just some little things, it sounds great.
I think it'd be great for us.
I think if we didn't do that, then we're going to be killing ourselves, basically.
Got it.
So we need to take care of ourselves.
I think it's very important to support that.
Anything that would reduce our dependence on fossil fuels is really important.
I definitely support this movement.
Some of the things in the plan I want to get your opinion on. So the plan says within 10 years, we're going to completely outlaw coal, natural gas, and oil. So gasoline, anything like that in 10 years.
I don't agree with that. To be honest with you, I think we need those things to live.
I do not think it is feasible in 10 years. I don't think that would be something that would be able to be done in such a short amount of time.
I think 10 years is a little extreme because I feel like there's such a big global market and economic impact of oil businesses, albeit it might not be good for the environment, but you can't deny there's a big economic impact of these companies.
What's your thought on that?
Sounds like a reach, honestly.
Do you think that's feasible?
No.
If you're unwilling to work, we will still supply help for your salary and help for a living wage.
No, absolutely not.
If you're not willing to contribute to society, then I don't think that the people who are contributing should pay for you. So I disagree with that.
I feel like it kind of sends the poor message of, you can just get away with not doing anything and, getting money. It's kind of stupid.
I don't like that personally. Unwilling isn't the best way to go about things. I don't want to go to college, but I have to get a job, so.
Everyone needs to contribute. That's the only way society works.
I don't know about that one. I think that if you're unwilling, that I don't know if you should receive money for that.
If you didn't want to go to class, if you were unwilling to go to class, should I still give you a good grade?
No. People definitely need a job and need to work.
Eliminating almost all air travel with high-speed rails. What's your thought on that?
I feel like it's kind of the same one. I feel like 10 years is a little extreme for that.
I don't think it should be eliminated altogether. I think it's definitely it can be an option. I think the more options we have, the better.
I think that's drastic. I haven't heard of that one.